Hey guys, how's it going? So, in preparation for his long-awaited return, we're going to be breaking down Panpayak's most recent win against Savvas Michael. So let's get into it. Savvas is a very boxing-heavy fighter, and he often does employ quite a wide stance. So Panpayak begins targeting the inside leg kick because they are opposite stance. However, Panpayak also makes use of a lead teep, his right teep, not to the leg and not necessarily to the body, almost like to the hip and the upper leg. This is really good at, while it doesn't necessarily cause damage, it really is good at halting someone in their tracks and stopping any attack that they do. Panpayak tries this twice in a pretty short amount of time. Savvas is actually able to catch it. He loads up and throws a right hand. Panpayak, however, is able to keep his balance, get back into his stance, and just ever so slightly slip out of the way of the punch. And as Savvas is circling out, Panpayak goes to kick. Savvas thinks it's going to the body. It's actually going to the leg. Very impressive stuff. Panpayak in this fight was uncharacteristically aggressive, quite similar to Rodtang, who Savvas was originally meant to fight on this night. So Panpayak uses a teep to push Savvas up against the cage just to give him less options defensively. He then pumps out a jab. The jab's not meant to land. That gets him circling out to Panpayak's left. That's just because they're open stance and Panpayak has essentially closed down the space. Savvas starts moving out to his own right. Panpayak throws a left kick. While it does get blocked, it's just good cage work. Here we see Panpayak try to commit to the boxing more. He uses his lead hand to pull down Savvas's lead hand. He does this quite a lot in front. It's actually how he sets up the knockout. But he pulls the lead hand down and blitzes in with a left straight. Savvas is actually able to slip under this and they enter a clinch. Now, Savvas does try to go for a trip. However, he is not blocking Panpayak's outside foot, and Panpayak is able to circle around and land in his stance, which is insanely impressive balance. He lands in his stance and he is able to, because he's got his right foot forward and his left foot back, he's able to load up a very nice knee and land that on Savvas. Panpayak, being the technical genius that he is, he goes for the same combination, but he doesn't commit as hard on the left straight. So he gets Panpayak almost just trying to respond to the punch, when actually Panpayak almost takes an angle to his own right and uses it to land a nice left kick, and he starts using this combination instead. Panpayak begins to try and chain together the techniques that he's established. He goes for a lead teep to like the hip and then chains that into a left kick, which does partially get blocked. Savvas, however, goes for a punch after Panpayak is kicked, and Panpayak just puts up the double forearm guard and is able to block that. Due to Savvas's lack of success in this fight, he began to get a lot more aggressive. So he throws a jab cross and switches stances in the process and throws a left kick. However, it was too slow. Panpayak catches it and then uses that to set up a left high kick, which just skims, or it actually does hit on the temple, but Savvas is able to brace himself for it. Again, Panpayak begins to chain things off of the teep that he's established. He lifts a knee fake, which he uses to put out a jab, pull down Savvas's lead hand, and land a nice left straight. Now at this point, Savvas is quite bruised up already, and he's very fearful of Panpayak's power, so he begins just putting up, double forearm guard, lifting his lead leg, regardless of what's coming. So Panpayak again uses that to land a great left straight down the middle. Now for the finishing sequence. Panpayak again uses his lead hand to pull down Savvas's lead hand, but he lets go of it this time. Savvas then quickly brings back up to the double forearm guard and begins to try and lift his knee. Panpayak then just threads a right hook around the guard, lead hook, keep in mind, and it knocks Savvas out cold. It's not like it dropped him; it literally was sending him snoozing to the canvas, and Panpayak didn't realize this and loaded up a left kick to the face, and Savvas essentially fell into it. If you watch the replay, he gets hit with the punch, starts falling face first, eats the kick, goes back. And obviously, you know, been knocked out cold, got woke up by the kick, you're not getting up. This was a masterclass by Panpayak on short notice as well, against a pretty credible opponent too. He showed great power, great boxing, great defensive skills. You know, the lead deep in that fight was absolutely astounding. The hand fighting was amazing. Panpayak is just absolutely an extremely smooth operator, and I cannot wait to see him return. And also, I just want to address, Panpayak's a skinny dude, and he's known for like his powerful left kicks. I'm sorry, but the thing with knockouts, right? Whenever you watch a knockout, whenever someone gets knocked out, it's always when when someone's throwing a punch and they get hit while throwing a punch, or they're not in their stance, or they have their hands down. Panpayak, literally, with barely any wind up, hit Savvas clean around the guard when he's bracing in his stance, ready for any kind of impact, and still didn't drop him and put him out cold. Panpayak has some crack in his hands, and it's very good to see. I cannot wait for Panpayak to come back. His opponent's a little less well known, but I think they're just trying to ease him back in, as he hasn't competed since this fight, which was back at the end of 2022. However, very much looking forward to it. I think he could do some very interesting things in this division, and that's all for the breakdown, guys, so I hope you enjoyed.